my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. So I want to start off first of all by saying thank you to Grace. She had purchased some football pins that I'm going to use for my football transformation and the book Avocado Asks. So I thank you so much for that. I am so blessed to have people who contribute to my classroom because is it needed? No. But does it make it more fun? Yes. So thank you to Grace. The other thing is, we had some good news at the very beginning of the school year. So I know a lot of schools already allow this, but a lot of schools do not. We are now allowed to wear jeans whenever we want to. We don't have to pay for it, which is what it used to be like. We'd have to pay and it got donated to an education foundation, which was kind of nice. But to wear jeans once a week. So we don't have to do that anymore. You just have to look professional. We can't have rips in them or anything like that. So that's exciting news. We are into the first full week. Last week we had 3 days of school. So we're in our first full week. And this week there's not as much stuff because I'm doing a lot of testing and getting all this testing stuff done so that this is my last, hopefully interrupted week at the beginning of the school year. So, we do NWEA, we do some DIBELS testing, some math facts. And so we're just getting that all out of the way. So I probably won't have as much content wise to share with that, but we'll see what we can come up with because we don't test all day, every day. So yesterday we read Collaboration Station by Shannon Olson, and then we talked about what it's like to work in small groups, and then we did a small group activity, and that is Copy the Teacher, and I got that from Dustin Ecker a couple years ago or more. On Instagram, and you take cups and papers and you create a structure, and then each kid has a job in the group and they have to recreate that structure. The difference is you don't have the right amount of cups, you don't have the right papers. And so then one of the jobs is to go to different groups and ask them questions. And so it's always a fun time, a fun activity. So we did that yesterday. So I'll insert some pictures from that here. So it is another day in the week, and again, just a lot of testing and getting to know the kids, but a couple of things that I thought I would share. I always do a group novel. I do that almost all year long. I try and get in as many books as possible because kids realize that reading's pretty fun. We just have to make sure that they get good books in their hands. So the first one I start with is a difficult book, but it is so gripping that they compare every book to it after that. And so that kind of stinks too, but I do it because it goes along with September 11th. And so we try and get it done. And most years I do get it done by September 11th. And it brings so much more meaning to that day for the kids after they have read it. And that is Ground Zero by Alan Gratz. One of my favorite authors. I love his storytelling. I love the twists and turns. I love at the end, and you just realize something new in this book. It is a fabulous book. I've read several of his books. And so if you haven't read this one, I highly suggest. The vocabulary is difficult. The content can be difficult. We have lots of good conversation. I don't really do questions and things with it. I have some questions, but I really just do it as in they see my excitement for a book. And I think that's very important. And I also listen to it on Audible because it's told from two different perspectives. And the young girl, Reshmina, is from Afghanistan. And a lot of the names and the way that they say words, the storytellers on Audible do an amazing job of telling the story. And even the kids, after the first day, we stopped and we just listened to 2 chapters. And I was like, what do you guys think about, the story so far? And I was like, what do you think about the story so far? And they're like, I love the way that the readers tell the story and like how they use different voices. And they do have 2 different people, because one is a girl, one is a boy, and they do an amazing job telling the story. So if that is an option for you, I would suggest that. But I begin by just going through a slideshow that I created. It's very short, but I show them pictures of the Twin Towers, and there is one on the back. I found some old video of inside the Twin Towers and the underground mall, because that is a big part of this book. We go over some very much used vocabulary in the book, like the word revenge. And we just talk about all those things to kind of set it up. I talked to them about where I was when it happened and why it's so personal to me. I never understood with like the older generation with me and how, they would get so affected over, Veterans Day or Memorial Day. And now I understand that because my generation went through some tragedy. So here's just a quick look at my slides. So I just talk about revenge and what that means, and how this book, they will see that word a lot throughout the book. And then I introduce it and we talk about what ground zero means. That word or words was around long before the World Trade Center was attacked. We talk about some pictures, the glare from my windows, some pictures of 9/11. We talk about, we watch parts of this video. It's pretty long, so I kind of skip through it just so they can see like what the World Trade Center looked like, because obviously it's a big part of the story. This one shows the mall, which is a huge part of the story, because it's a huge part of the story. I never know how much to say. We talk about windows on the world, the restaurant that was on the 107th floor is a big part of the book, at least in the beginning, because that's where his dad worked. And then we talk about New York City and where it is and how they have the 5 boroughs and where the World Trade Center is located. We talk about Afghanistan and Kabul, where those are located and where Reshmina is in the book. And then we go through some more vocabulary. We also read about, I actually ended up last year, I saved this until after we finished the book. And we went through the timeline of 9/11. I've had a subscription in the past, but I can't remember. I think this one may be free, but I can't remember. If it's free, we will continue to watch it. If not, we no longer have a subscription. And then we go into reading. So the only thing that switched was I saved that for the end of the book. I don't do that until the end. So that is my quick PowerPoint. I mean, it's only 13 slides, really 12, because the last one is for the end. I even have some of my kids that are really low, like they are gripped by this book. And I do have a copy for everybody. I am fortunate enough that I was able to purchase those. But I mean, he was like, and his little finger was just following every word, and I stopped it and he's like, what are you doing? So excited about it. So, seeing that excitement in somebody who has a hard time reading because he can hear that story and it's told in such an amazing way is great. So that is ground zero. Another thing that we've done that's not necessarily education related but some new games that my kids have been loving. And let me show you those. I already threw the box away and I'm not even sure that there was a name. It just said like magnetic something. But I saw this online, but each of you get 10. Oh, see, they're so magnetic. 10 of the magnets, but you take turns putting them down. And then, you know, you just go through, but it's a 2-person game and it's a quick game. It's easy for, you know, indoor recess. It's easy for all kids to play. And then since they all connected, I have to take all those back. And so whoever ends up without rocks first or magnets first, then they are the loser or the winner, sorry. So that's a fun one, and I just got that on Amazon. The other one that I got on Amazon, I saw this on social media as well. It is called Piles, and it is so much fun. So it is, it tells you like how many cards you get depending on how many how many pairs you're going to use, or sets, I'm sorry, goodness, that you're going to use depending on how many kids there are. And you have to work to get like all the hoodies, or you have to work to get all the sweaters, and there's 4 of each thing, just maybe different colors. And so you have 6 piles of 4 for you and your partner, whoever's playing. And then there's 4 piles in the middle, and they're face up. And so you pick up a pile and you make a, you know, if there's a card you want to use, you pick it up and you put one down. You pick them up, you put them down. And you go through each pile and you're trying to get all 4 in those piles. So you have to remember, there's some memory to it. It's about being quick. It's so much fun.